victories here and there. But again, as you mentioned it, the dynamic that you typically get when it's teammate versus teammate creates these really unique games. We've seen it happen a lot of times, and it's unfortunate that it has to happen, but at the end of the day, this is a 1v1 competition, and the best man must win, and the money is up to grabs regardless of whether you are on the Slayers team or you are on the EG team. So, you know, team kills are not unusual.
And the thing is with MMA, he's a really good player, of course, but he hasn't done that well in this tournament, to be honest. If you look at his results, which I have in front of me here, is that he went 1-2 versus White Raw, so he did lose, and then he lost 1-2 versus the STC, and then he managed to kind of, that was actually a fantastic series. If you guys didn't check that out, go watch that against Chef. That was fantastic to watch earlier, and he managed to scrape through 2-1. But he's dropping a lot of games. He's actually dropped 5 maps so far in this tournament alone.
And does that, you know, does that signify a changing of the Terran guard? Does that mean that people are keeping a closer eye on MMA, so they're certainly more in tune with the types of builds and the way he's playing? And this can be the case for any player who kind of takes that spotlight a little bit, like MMA has recently in the past. I mean, even before he was in the GSL spots and competing in the team league, when sort of you got your first taste of him, people were like, oh my gosh, I've got to watch this guy, I've got to study him, I've got to know how he plays. And, you know, players will reach that point where guys figure him out. Not saying that's necessarily the way it's going to happen here, but guys, we are going live. Give it up as we're starting game number 1.
It's going to be good.
It is going to be good. MMA versus Sleep here on Antigua Shipyard to start us off. And we have got MMA, our red Terran, spawning in the east position. Give it up for him. And over here in the north, we've got our blue Zerg. It's Slayer Sleep.
And he stays true to his nickname, to be honest, because he's been sleeping a lot backstage, and that's not a lie. He actually has, especially because he was playing the other day, and that was when we had all that, the truck crashing and the internet down. He was in Group C, so he actually only played 1 game compared to everybody else that's played a lot more games. So that is probably a disadvantage coming into this series, but nevertheless, he's a still good player. He managed to beat Hero 2-0 that we did manage to cast. And he showed many strengths. His micro, his macro, his mechanics, his decision making, we're all up there. And just to be in the Team Slayers, there's something good about you.
Yeah, additionally, when you consider that within Slayers, you have this sort of legion of incredible Terran players, you know, what's the best way to practice your TVZ? Well, it's probably versus some of the best Terran players in the world. So, you know, having that advantage as well, going into it, I mean, you can say that MMA gets the same level of, you know, of training as far as that goes.
A great example of that would be Thorzane when he played in the Blizz Invitational. You know, he played against Rhett, and he was like, God, I'm not good against Zerg. Then he went to Korea, lived in the Slayer's house, come back, and he said his matchups are all the same now. So this is going to be really good. And we are going to see Hatchery down first at 15. And we do have a Refinery down for MMA. But MMA's achievements are incredible, DJ Wheat. GSTL twice MVP of the GSTL. He won MLG Columbus. He's second in Anaheim. Second in the Super Tournament in GSL. Just keeps on going.
Yeah, I mean, you're absolutely right. It sounds like White Raw might have just gotten out of his booth. Give it up for him. He's right there. I think he knows just how much you guys appreciate him, and I'm sure you'll be able to get a drink with him later tonight as well. So spawning pool has gone down. Learn about the late night special tactics then.
The late night special tactics are the best when he plays with Strelok.
Yeah. So yeah, we've got the pool going down. The extractor's already done, starting to get that gas up. Here we've got the SCV making his way in here. Is he going to do any kind of crazy shenanigans? Don't think so. The first Marine's going to the middle of the map to gain vision. And back at home, he's already got a factory underway. Hasn't even blocked off here yet. Feeling really comfortable with where he's at so far.
And we don't have a reactor. It looks like we're just going to have a couple of Hellions be made, or 1 or 2 been made from the factory, and then expand behind it. Just kind of not getting the reactor. But there are a lot of Marines in an SCV here, going to do a bit of pressure. There are no Lings in production as of yet. And there's still no no Lings in production on my own about. Look at the production tab. He's not even making any. This is incredible.
Yeah, he is not. And I'm not sure why. This is a scary little point here. This Marine goes here in the corner. He can't be hit. And obviously this bunker looks like it's probably going to go up. Now we have 6 Lings in production. We have no spine crawler going down. And this bunker is going to complete here any moment. There, the spine crawler about ready to go. The bunker is so close, and he's just going to load up.
That was weird that he didn't build any Lings. Now I wonder if MMA knew that's how Sleep likes to play. We talked about the the team dynamics, and that's a bit of a mistake now because this is going to cost him a lot and cost MMA almost nothing.
Yeah.
He's expanding behind it. He's got the reactor onto the factory now. He can start to pull a few Hellions over there very, very shortly to support this. And look at all the Lings in production. The 3rd Queen as well. I mean 2nd Queen. The spine crawler. Not a good start for Sleep.
And he puts the SCV in. He's going to go after it. There is the one little SCV trying to repair his little heart out. And looks like it will go down, and he will stop it. But think about where this put him. He did lose a spine crawler in there. He had to make a ton of Lings, and each one of these Lings, unfortunately, is going to be a drone that he couldn't make. He had another spine crawler in the back just to make absolutely sure. And if you take a look at the income tab, he's only 3 drones ahead of his opponent, where he could have been more like, 7 or 8 ahead of his opponent at this point.
Indeed, he could have. And I kind of like the decision to keep the spine crawler, because having the spine crawler there, he can build nothing but drones now. Doesn't have to build any backup Lings at all. And though he might need to, because look at this, we are going to have a drop into the main base very shortly. And he's building a Roach Warren, which will help out, but is not going to be ready in time. And this could be really game-ending. As I just said, he left the spine crawler alive, so he could build nothing but drones behind it. And very, very shortly, we're going to have elevation into the main base from these Hellions and Marines, and this could be tough. Will the Roaches get out in time, though?
Yeah, the Roach Warren is going to be finishing up here any moment. You can see the progress bar going. The medevac is out, is it? It should be. I thought it was. Yep, there it is. It's going to load up with some Marines. It's going to drop the Marines in first. Could snipe this Overlord, get a supply block potentially, and then drop the Hellions in.
Aggression hitting aggression right now.
Yep.
I don't think MMA is expecting this form of aggression. We're seeing basically the same build we saw Lucky use just now. And this could easily get wiped over. The Roaches are about to pop now. And if this gets wiped over, the counterattack is incredibly large.
And he sees it. He saw everything going on there, so he's going to be able to get into position. Sure, we could see a few of those drones hit, but more importantly, MMA has to preserve these units, and I don't think he's going to be able to do it. He will pick up the medevac, or he will pick up the Hellions with the medevac, but those Roaches now, the thing is as you mentioned, it's only Lings coming out now. He stopped droning. He's going back in.
Yeah, he's going to get a lot of drone kills here.
But you know what? Does it matter if he's already planning on going all in with some sort of a,
he gets 3
counterattack?
No, it doesn't really, but he has decided to get a Banshee. The Banshee is a great decision, but the Lings are just going to be too many. He's bringing the Hellions back to help defend as well. The bunker does go up, which is really good, and he will be able to wall off in his main base as well because of the supply depot. Will he be able to hold on here, though?
There's no way. There's no way. There's too many Roaches and just way too many Lings. Here come all the SCVs. It's going to be all about the repair of this bunker, and the bunker just has to stay up. The Lings are going to just wreck all of these SCVs if he gets this down. The Banshee is out. It would have to clean everything out. It's going to be how much economy damage will happen here.
Well, he repaired that bunker so well, and he still is as well.
Wow.
So many SCVs there. Lings are getting filtered in, but can't do anything. And he's going to be able to trap these Roaches if he needs be. The Banshee. Oh no, he let the Lings in.
And the Lings are going to go after those Marines, but they'd actually be better off going after those SCVs, and there we go. Wow, the Banshee's just holding on for these Roaches. It's allowing the Lings to kind of just wreak havoc inside here, and it is 12-7. I'll tell you what, that did a lot more than I thought it was or a lot less than I thought it was going to. The repair on the bunker was very, very quick reaction coming out there by MMA. The attack was good, and you know, his wall worked out quite well here.
Yeah, and behind that, we were droning. We've gone to layer as well. The Banshee won't be able to do that much damage. There is a 3 creep. No, there's just 2 at the moment, but he may be able to snipe this single queen. The other one is coming though. There's no creep. Korean Zergs never build creep there, and it is going to get that queen.
And no energy available for a transfusion. Oh, the Banshee going to get away 5. And look at that. If he would have connected his bases, Apollo, he could have had that.
Artosis talks about it all the time, and there's a prime example.
He's at home right now.
No, why don't they build creep?
I'm always right. There it is. And you are, Artosis. And here we go. Another drop inside the main, but he's got to be careful. This could go down as well. 25 hit points, but you know, the Queen's like, rather inject instead. So I'll go ahead and do that. And he's going to get away. That medevac hurting pretty bad. Like I said, 25, but a third behind this, and rather quickly here from MMA.
Oh, he's really, you know, playing a bit dangerous here with this medivac. He's going to be able to snipe off an overload. Doesn't have stim, but the medivac's in a bit of danger here. And these lings, well, that wasn't worth it, to be honest.
Oh my gosh, he's going to get the queen and the overload. No! Oh my gosh, he picks it. Oh my gosh, 1 hit point remaining. Although, I mean, he didn't get the Overlord or the Queen. If he would have somehow managed to micro the kill of both of those, that would have been even more amazing. But regardless, he picks up and he saves. And when you're playing at this high of a level, I really feel like the preservation of units is starting to become just such a major thing. We see some players who just, quite frankly, are okay. And this attack coming out is really nasty. But some players say, okay, I'm going to kill these 3 Marines to get this or that, but they're now players that are saying, I'm going to save every single Marine that I possibly can in these situations, even if it means me working really hard to do so. And you know what, I'm just shut up now because it looks like this is going to be a pretty big attack coming out here by MMA. The counterattack.
He doesn't have stim, though. I don't think he really wants to commit to this. He doesn't have stim. I mean, he scanned and saw that there wasn't much there, so he changed his mind. I don't think he wants to commit to this. He's trying to, you know, force a lot of units out, Banelings to be morphed instead of Mutalisks, and he just wants to return, or even do this and elevate into the main base using that little mid-tier cliff, and this is going to be hard to stop.
Yeah, in fact, with the 1 tank on the top too, becomes very, very difficult. Looks like this hatchery is going to go down and is canceled just at the last moment. The Marines will shoot themselves forward. The mutas are out as well. A Baneling does hit there. 2 more coming in, but they are taken out as well. These Marines have got to work on these mutas. A couple do go down, but he managed to keep several of them alive. How long can he keep this up? He's bringing a tank into the main now.
Yeah, this is a pretty clutch position right now. He's expanding, he's getting that over the command up behind it as well. He's got double upgrades going, so he will be at 1-1. Stim is not so far away from finishing now. When that finishes, that makes this a lot harder to deal with.
And here it comes, another extension here by the Marines. Looks like the mutas numbers getting a little bit higher. They're going to kill that 1 medevac. These Marines on the bottom, they really want to fire at these mutas, but he just can't. And there will be 5 mutas left with 2 more on the way. But I feel like he had to give up quite a bit in order to deal with that. I'm going to unsiege so I can get out of here. Oh, wait.
And there was a bit of a drop in the background as well, the 3rd base, which managed just to survive. And that's very, very close, and that will be a target later on for MMA. Meanwhile, the 3rd base is up, the double upgrades are going, the armory's been added on, so we're going to be going straight into 2-2, and MMA is really driving this game right now. He is looking really sharp.
It's a rough situation for the Zerg right now. They want to get their muta numbers out. At the same time, with the 3rd base just going up, you really don't have as much gas as you would like to have if you want to also get the Banelings into production as well. So he does have quite a few Lings moving on here, but he doesn't have Baneling speed. He's just now getting +1 melee. I really feel like Sleep is just a few, just like a few minutes behind where he really wants to be, and maybe even beyond that with the amount of tanks that MMA has. He got his 3rd base much quicker. His drops have been successful. His harassment's been successful. And I mean, at this point, with this hatchery as low as it is, and it being like a critical, mission critical target, I feel like if it goes down in the heat of a battle, one quick drop over there, and it is not going to be good here for Sleep.
And MMA's macro, he's at 70 plus drones already. It's incredibly fast. He's at 3 base, full saturation. He's got 2-2, well, he's actually only upgrade. Oh, there it is. Okay, 2-2 upgrades on the way as well. He's added on the second factory, more barracks. He's going to be able to produce so much. And like you said, because of the slowness of this game, in respect of kind of vision for the Zerg play, he just doesn't have the gas.
And you need that badly. He did get both of his gas up at that third, which will allow him, I mean, we got 9 mutas on the way, and he might just go ahead and stick with that number for a little while, possibly making a bunch of banelings to try to deal with at least the Marine force, because it is obviously a very, very heavy tank Marine that is now at 1-1, but 2-2 is going to be finishing up here pretty soon. He's going to throw the scan down, and again, there's only 4 banelings being morphed in here, and I really worry for Sleep at the lack of banelings here.
Yeah, I mean, there's no Borrow Bailings. He hasn't even got his 4th base up, which means he can't really have Infestors or whatever yet. And the Ghost Academy is on its way as well, which is going to really add a different element to this army. And the Siege Tank line is very far back as well. It's going to be really difficult to engage. And he can slowly kind of push around to this 3rd base and start to deny that. There is a drop at the south side, but that will get cleaned up by these Mutalisks just about. And the hatchery does remain alive, but the 3rd base is definitely in trouble.
The rocks went down. He stimmed, and then he's waiting. Now he's going to go back in, and here we go. Queen goes down. Goodbye. And the amount of drones that could potentially go down here as well. He'll just split his units off. He has tanks sieged up, but he's not that far forward. He could have gotten some additional drone kills. Actually, drone sent all the way to the back. I think that was a pretty smart move. But now the middle has been claimed by MMA. Any reinforcements coming from this base is going to be tough.
A drop in the main, snipes a Queen and an Overlord as well. Bailings are coming in. But as you said, the gold base has been taken. The 4th base in the bottom left can't do anything. The Mutalisks are in control as well. No drones are going to be able to get transferred down there. And once this gold base is up, the production's going to shoot up incredibly. He can throw down 4 more barracks, add on reactors. He's doing a good job of harassment, but...
Oh no! Mutas, what are you doing?
Oh, GG. And to be honest, MMA just outclassed Sleep in every area.
The dance of death. I remember a game with Nani